like a year ago, I was in college, bro. A little bit before that, I was fucking in high school, like trying to make all this shit work.
Nice rental.
This 21-year-old college dropout has been taking over the internet, growing to well over 2 million followers across platforms and bringing in over $1 million every single month. And recently, he pulled in over $670,000 during his 3-day live event selling info, using the exact funnel that I'm going to be breaking down today. That's right, Brez Scales is one of the biggest entrepreneurs of our generation and a genius at marketing. With the flashy lifestyle, the car accidents, the memes, and everything, he's mastered the art of monetizing attention. So with that being said, if you're a coach or you're selling info, stick around because I'm going to be showing you the exact key principles you can apply to any high ticket offer to scale to 6 figures a month plus. Let's not waste any more time. Here's exactly what you need to know. So here's the map so you can follow along. To keep it concise, I'm going to be firstly going over the top of his funnel and exactly how he drove awareness and eyeballs to his event. Secondly, I'm going to be going over the middle funnel strategy he used to nurture these leads from cold to warm. And finally, I'm going to be breaking down the exact launch and event strategy he used that made this one of the biggest info product rollouts in history. And so without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, starting at the top of his funnel is awareness and how he drove these thousands of people to his event. You see, Brez doesn't typically use paid ads. He does, however, have one of the strongest personal brands in the game and an organic content engine that consistently brings in these $1 million months. His short form content strategy has a simple flow of content that makes people know, like, and trust him. So if you look here, Brez posts 3 types of content. Viral content meant to solely get as many people as he can onto his page possible.
Where's your emergency?
I'm in the middle of Gavin Parkway and Van Buren. I got in a car accident, head-on collision. Everyone's okay?
And what type of vehicle were you in?
I was in a Lamborghini Aventador.
Authentic content to get the same people to go from knowing him to liking him.
Alright boys, I'm here in New York, about to do a bagel review.
Word of my mother, that's not good, you heard?
And lifestyle content to get people curious about him and what he does, which perfectly flows to his YouTube where trust is built. And that's it. He built a constantly fluctuating flywheel of content that sells the lifestyle but perfectly balances itself away from the guru side of Instagram and more toward an authentic personal brand. This perfectly balanced profile is the sole reason behind his massive following and ridiculous income. By the way, if you're a coach and you're posting content every day and it's not driving the calls or the clients that you want, it's usually actually a funnel issue and not the content issue. So I'm opening 5 free audit spots this week just to see what's going on with your funnel and see how I can help. And so I'll leave a little link in the description and feel free to book a time to chat while it's still available. Anyway, back to the video. Now moving down from the top of his funnel, which is short form content that drives awareness, is going to be his middle funnel, which is YouTube and long form content. Now, he has 2 main YouTube channels that he uses to build trust, authority, and drive people to his offer. Firstly, on his main account, he posts long form vlogs that build trust, authenticity, and actually create a parasocial relationship and connection with his audience. These videos then flow the same people who are interested to his other channel, which is Brez. And on this channel, he posts niche content about freelance brand scaling and basically builds the belief that freelance brand scaling is the vehicle to get them from where they are now to where they want to be. He uses the Brez account to position himself as the authority and the expert and build a dynamic between him and his viewer of him being a mentor figure and the viewer being a student. He brings up pain points in his content and then bridges the pain point with the solution being the freelance brand scaling. And so effortlessly, through the vlogs where he shows off his lifestyle, he bridges that with the freelance brand scaling account, basically selling the dream of living the lifestyle he has as long as you start freelance brand scaling and work with him. And so the key main takeaway I took from the top and middle funnel content is to systemize your content. Everything you post, especially your short form content, should flow through the know, like, and trust pyramid and consistently drive people to your long form content where you build trust, authority, and position yourself as the expert in your niche. Brez implemented this exact psychology, and that's why his entire flywheel all works together to create this seamless transition from cold viewer to prospect to buyer. Now yes, Brez Scales has the content strategy on lock, but the key in the funnel is actually the launch. 2 weeks before the drop, Brez Scales dropped the trailer for the movie he'd been teasing, and it's safe to say this is where everything took off. With his massive growing personal brand and an army of clippers, Brez Scales saturated the internet with his launch. For days, even weeks, your feed couldn't escape it. The cinematic trailers, the clips, the behind the scenes footage, all engineered to make people feel like there was something big coming. And the part that most people miss is that all that content wasn't just to go viral. It was strategic distribution. Every clip, every repost, every skit had one goal in mind: to funnel attention into infrastructure. He wasn't just chasing views, he was collecting traffic. And right here is where the conversion really starts happening. With the 8 figures in views per month all redirecting towards his socials, he took all these people and these cold eyeballs and redirected them toward a simple landing page. It starts with a simple headliner, clearly targeting his ICP, chronic doom scrollers who want to become multimillionaires. It then seamlessly flows to his VSL, where he persuades the viewer to opt in for the free event and claim their free ticket. And once they're done watching the VSL, they click the button to claim the free spot and opt in for the event, where they're prompted to give contact info but also their income. What this is doing is, yes, creating a contact for the Brez team, but also financially qualifying these prospects. And finally, before sending them fully through, they get redirected to a thank you page to increase conversions but also diffuse the sales process. They're invited to a WhatsApp group where he nurtures them and creates massive urgency to show up live. He sends personal and authentic messages teasing at the event, irritating their pain points, and much, much more. All to get them to show up live. And well, let's just say it worked. The day of the launch, thousands of people started watching. Zooming out for a second, you'll notice that his 3-day event actually follows a very simple structure. Firstly, open the loop and lead the viewer on to the next video, and also bring up pain points and establish the current position. The second video is made to fabricate that realization and bridge that transition period. And lastly, the final video is framed like part of the movie, but is really just a VSL. While his audience thought it was just a cinematic movie, Brez and his team treated it like an entire sales process. This flywheel then perfectly feeds into his main offer, where he successfully converted that attention into cash. Now, the main offer off the bat of his webinar was his Scale 2.0 program, a $997 course on freelance brand scaling. And the sales process was pretty simple overall. Watch the webinar, get sent to a sales page, and then pay. Now, if this was the entire offer in and of itself, Brez would have already made a lot of money. But the Scale 2.0 program was merely a front for his actual offer. You see, right after opting in and paying for Scale 2.0, you get invited to a free onboarding call, which is framed as an onboarding call, but in reality what it is it's basically a call with Brez's team to upsell you into his main program, which is the Elite Roundtable, a $5,000 community with a one-on-one mentorship with Brez Scales. He knew that the people paying $997 for Scale 2.0 would already be his most qualified prospects. And so he leveraged this and, paired with the genius upsell, pulled in over $670,000 in the 3 days of his event. And so if you're a coach or an online business owner, I wanted to take a second to show you the key takeaways I got from this. The first key takeaway I got from this is to build belief before you sell. Use your long form content to reframe limiting beliefs and position yourself as that authority that people want to trust. Secondly, have infrastructure behind your virality. Vanity metrics in and of itself will do nothing for your business. If you're getting views but no sales, that means there's no real system catching that attention. You should always have a system in place to lead your prospect or viewer down the sales funnel. Thirdly, design your funnel like a story. Hook them with emotion, shift their beliefs, then close with logic. Make buying your program feel like a resolution to their journey, not just a pitch. And the final key takeaway is to stack your offers. The real money is made after the first sale. Build growth paths that turn regular buyers into premium clients. And so you see, what Brez did wasn't luck, it was precision. Every post, every trailer, every message was part of a larger ecosystem that turned attention into trust and trust into transaction. And that's ultimately the real game. A lot of people think that content is the business. Content is merely the entry point of the business. The actual business is built in the funnel that sits behind it. And so with that being said, if you're a coach or you're selling info and you're bottlenecked by your funnel, trying to figure out why all your content isn't converting, it's not that you're not working hard enough, it's because your funnel isn't doing the heavy lifting it's supposed to be doing. And so if you wanted to get one-on-one help with me to fix your funnel, I'm opening 5 free audit spots this week to figure out what's working in your funnel, what's leaking cash, and then give you a clear roadmap to fix it using my expertise. The link will be down below. Feel free to grab a spot while they're still open. Anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.